On June 3rd, 2018, I opened a note on my phone and began typing the following words. Am I really going to give up on my dreams of building a successful business? There's a long road ahead and there are no guarantees. I don't want to sell myself short because I know I can do this, but the stress, the uncertainty, and the super delayed gratification just isn't for me. The next few days were filled with deep questioning of my identity. I knew deep down that I wasn't a quitter, but after a failed product launch, an app launch that failed not once, not twice, but 3 times, I felt like I would never be successful. Maybe I didn't have what it takes to build a successful business. Maybe I wasn't meant to achieve that. And while I wanted so badly to give into that fear and let go of my dreams, there was a voice inside of me that kept me going. It said, Jaclyn, you can do this. And that voice was courage. As I've learned in my now 4 years in business, courage is something we need both in big moments and in small moments. Most people think that courage is about removing the fear. But in reality, we all feel fear, and fear itself isn't going anywhere. Oxford Dictionary defines courage as the ability to do something that frightens one. So if there was really a way to remove the fear, then there would be no such thing as courage, because courage, by definition, is about acting in spite of the fear. So what if courage wasn't about removing fear, but instead was about adding belief? You see, courage is like an equation. Anytime your belief is stronger than your fear, the outcome is courage. This equation proves true in all areas of my life anytime I've exhibited courage. Take a look back at the exact words I wrote in my journal entry the day I wanted to give up my business. I said, I don't want to sell myself short because I know I can do this. My belief that I could build a successful business was stronger than my fear of failure. Therefore, I had courage. 5 years ago, I decided that I was going to run a marathon. I ran on the American Cancer Society team in honor of a friend who passed away far too young. I wanted to support this incredible cause and give myself a new challenging goal. So things were going pretty well up until about 3 weeks before race day, when I was home from Georgetown for the weekend and I just finished my 20-mile training run. And I noticed that my right ankle was throbbing with every step that I took. At first, I thought, well, maybe this could be normal for a person who has just run 20 miles, because let's be honest, that's not normal. So I headed back to DC the next morning and found my ankle still throbbing. So I limped my way across campus to the Student Health Center. And fortunately, there was a sports medicine doctor who had an open appointment later that day. A few hours later, my world stopped. The doctor said to me, Jaclyn, you probably shouldn't run this marathon. It looks like you have a stress fracture and it's only going to get worse every time that you run. I felt like I had worked so hard for something only to be told that I couldn't have it. So I politely explained to the doctor that I planned on running the marathon in 3 weeks. And I then asked if there were any recommendations she had so that I could keep training without putting too much strain on my ankle. The doctor, of course, explained the risks of running the marathon, and then she gave me a training plan that involved biking and aqua jogging. That way I could keep up my endurance without putting too much strain on my ankle. The big day came and my parents headed down to DC for the day to watch me run by for 10 seconds and then get on the metro and head to another spot in the city because all of the streets were closed, to watch me run by for another 10 seconds. And they did this over and over again for 26.2 miles. Now that is what I call love. Things were going pretty well at the beginning. You can see my big smile at the start line at mile 6 and at mile 10 when I was very excited about the free orange I was given. And then at mile 12, the pain really kicked in. I kept thinking to myself, how am I possibly going to run another 14 miles? But then I had an idea. What if I just took the next step. I could totally do that. And then after that, what if I just took one more step? I didn't need to think about the next 14 miles. All I needed to think about was the next step. I began repeating the mantra, one foot in front of the other, over and over again in my brain. It caught a nice little rhythm where each word became another step, like this. One foot in front of the other. And I probably repeated that phrase about 20,000 times over the next 2 hours. And by the grace of God or the universe or whatever you believe in, I crossed that finish line clocking 4 hours and 50 minutes. You can see the tear in this photo. I'm still not quite sure if it was a tear of joy or a tear of pain, but nonetheless, I crossed that finish line. And as I'm sure you can imagine, this is what happened next. And yes, it was definitely worth it. While there were many moments of courage throughout my marathon journey, the real moment that tested me was during mile 12. And while the fear was strong, something else was stronger, and that was my belief. All I did was repeat an inspiring affirmation that gave me enough courage to take the next step. With each step I took, my belief was stronger than my fear. Therefore, I had courage. So why is it that these simple phrases actually help us? Affirmations are one way that we can add belief back into the courage equation. And remember, when we add belief, we create courage. Affirmations are an example of how our brains can form new connections and pathways. These new connections and pathways are essentially your brain rewiring itself, and they get stronger with repetition until they become normal. This is important because the more you repeat an affirmation, the more likely your brain is to accept that affirmation as truth. Thus, the more you repeat an affirmation, the more belief you add back into the courage equation. And remember, when you add belief, you create courage. Some of my favorite affirmations include, I can do anything I put my mind to. My success is inevitable and I am always on the right path. I can do hard things and it's this or something better. If you truly want to build courage, start incorporating affirmations into your daily routine. In order to make this new routine easy and effortless, I recommend that you say your affirmations out loud while you're completing regular tasks. That way you don't have to add any additional time to your routine. Some of my favorite times to say affirmations are when I'm driving, doing dishes, showering, or folding laundry. In addition to affirmations, there are a few other practices that you can incorporate into your daily routine to add belief and thus create courage. One of my favorite practices is doing hard things. Go outside and run 1 mile longer than you think you can. If you don't think you can run a mile, just try anyway. You will be amazed at what you can accomplish when you set your mind to a goal. Take a freezing cold shower. Get out of bed the second your alarm goes off. The more often that you do hard things, the more you train your brain to believe that you are capable of overcoming anything that life throws at you. Another practice that I've incorporated into my daily routine is visualization. If you have even 30 seconds every day to commit to your goals, then you have the time to add visualization into your routine. In order to practice visualization, all you need to do is close your eyes and imagine a scene in your future in vivid detail. Every single morning since the day that I found out that I landed this TEDx talk, I pictured the following scene. I wake up the morning after the video from this talk goes live. I head downstairs to make coffee and breakfast while my fiance Richie is upstairs and he decides to scroll through his phone and check out how many views the talk has. Jack, your TED Talk has 10,000 views. I hear Richie screaming down the stairs. A few hours go by and I see a text pop up from Richie. Now it has 70,000 views. I log into my Amazon account and I see that I've sold thousands of copies of my book, Stop Getting in Your Own Way. I head over to my inbox and I see I have dozens of inquiries about potential speaking opportunities. See how vivid and specific my visualization is? Now, it's your turn to practice visualization. Sit up tall in your chair, place your hands on your lap, and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. I want you to imagine that you have just accomplished one of your biggest goals. Maybe you just received an acceptance letter in the mail from your dream college. Maybe you sold your company or landed your dream job. Trust that whatever's coming to you intuitively at this moment is meant for you. How does this scene look? How do you feel? What are you wearing? Who are you with? The more detail you can picture, the better. Take a few more seconds to soak up this amazing moment. Okay, you may now open your eyes. Visualization is also backed by science. Because we come across so much information on a daily basis, your brain has a filtering system called the reticular activating system. The reticular activating system filters information based on your thoughts and your beliefs. So when you visualize yourself achieving your goals, your reticular activating system then looks for opportunities to help make that vision a reality. By repeating affirmations, doing hard things, and practicing visualization, you will build your self-belief. And when you do that, you will create courage. I'm so thankful for the courage equation because it brought me here to this stage today. Without it, I would have given up on my dreams on June 3rd, 2018. And here's what's so special about this. I am no different than you. I simply followed the formula. My belief was stronger than my fear. Therefore, I had the courage to push forward and create the life of my dreams. The life of your dreams is more than possible for you. And now it's your turn to create it. I can't wait to see the amazing things that you accomplish. Thank you.